Hi everyone, it's Miss Fox again, and I wanted to talk to you today about table manners. So, something that Miss Green and I had been working on with our second graders is how to set tables like princes and princesses or knights and ladies, how to eat from the table in a nice, clean, proper way, and how to treat others at the table with the utmost respect as only ladies, gentlemen, knights, and kings and queens would do. So I have my friends here at the table with me today. They're all very excited, as you can see, to help me explain how to set the table, how to eat from the table, and how to ask nicely for things to be passed. Now, you might be asking yourself, Miss Fox, what does this have to do with drama? And if you remember, drama is three things. Let's see if we can remember. The first thing is drama is what we make when we use that's right, our body, our voice, and our imagination. So when we use our body, our voice, and our imagination to tell a story. So that's right that telling the story of setting your table is not very exciting. That's not really a story. That's just doing something. But you can tell the story of a prince who is coming to eat with you for dinner. And you must prepare the perfect table, or else he will not come to eat with you tonight. You can also imagine that there is a princess. So depending on who lives at your home, who is taking care of you, I want you to make a crown for that prince or princess to wear. Tell them to go into another room as you prepare the table, and when they enter the room, this is your job, parents, they can decide if the table is perfectly set for a dinner with the prince or princess, and if it is not, they will leave until the table has been fixed. So now you know your challenge. You are going to use your body to make the table look beautiful. You are going to use your imagination to be creative with how you decorate the table. And then you are going to use your voice to say check every time you've looked at something on the list and followed through. So first thing on the list is silverware and plates. So do you have your plate ready? Check. Do you have your silverware ready? Check. Do you have a cup to drink from ready? Check. Now, we are going to set the table for the feast that I'm about to have with all of my friends here. So each person is going to get their own plate, because we don't share plates when we are kings and queens or knights and ladies. We must each get our own plate. So you are going to place one plate in front of each chair where someone will be sitting. So we're going to imagine that my friend Jasmine here, that she has her place, her chair right here. So she has this plate right in front of her. Now, on the left side of her plate is going to be her fork. You can tell that it's a left because if you hold up your left hand and make this L shape, if you were going to read as though it was a word, it will be your left hand if it makes an L that you would have at the beginning of a word. If you hold up your hand and you make the shape, but the L wouldn't go that way, it would go the other way, that's your right hand. So she has her fork on her left side of the plate. She has the knife on the right side of the plate, and you always want to have your knife with the sharp edge facing in towards the plate so you don't accidentally hurt yourself. You also don't need to have a knife if you're not going to eat anything where you're going to be cutting things up. Lastly, you will have your spoon next to the knife. Now Jasmine has a perfect setting, except if she gets thirsty, she's going to need that cup. Her cup goes in between the knife and the spoon. Now her place is perfect and ready. But sometimes Jasmine gets a little bit messy when she eats. So I'm going to show you where you put your napkin. At Miss Fox's table, I like to use a paper napkin. I fold it in half. I fold it in half again. And then the napkin goes underneath the fork. Now her table place is perfectly set, so she is ready to have dinner. So we can bring in the queen to see what she thinks of this. What does the queen think? Oh, the queen does not like it. That is unfortunate. Well, if I were the queen, I would be very impressed. So, that is your task. See if you can set a perfect table. Then invite your king or queen, knight or lady to come in and judge if they are willing to eat this fancy meal with you. Okay. Second part of our meal. Now we have to use our imagination to pretend like we have a feast in front of us. Now, when a queen or king sits down to eat dinner, they do not put their elbows on the table like this, but they do have their hands crossed at the table. This is so that they can't slouch, they have to sit up tall. They also have their hands on the table so that everybody knows that they're not secretly scratching their belly or scratching their armpits or picking their nose. Their hands are visible on the table. This is just the way princes and princesses like it. You can argue with them later. Now, the reason your spoon is on the outside of your knife is because the first thing we are going to do is have our soup. So everyone pick up your imaginary soup bowl, pick up your spoon, take a nice spoonful of soup, bring it to your mouth, take another spoonful. Now, if you want some salt and you don't have it in front of you, but it is in front of your neighbor, you can turn your head to them and say, excuse me, Jasmine, would you please pass me the salt? And if Jasmine is being very nice, she will hand you the salt. You can use it, put it back down, and then you can say, thank you, Jasmine, so much. Oh, see what a pleasant interaction that was. Now, continue eating your soup. Oh, I just got some soup on my shirt. So I'm going to put my spoon down. I'm going to pick up my napkin and lightly wipe up my face. Wipe up my shirt. Put my napkin back down. Fork can go on top of that napkin. Now I'm done with my soup. So I will move my soup bowl with my spoon off to the side. And now I'm ready for my meal. I want you to imagine what you would have in your incredible, spectacular meal for the prince or princess, lady or knight. And then I want you to serve yourself from the center bowl, being careful not to get the food all over the table. Put the bowl back down. Now pick up your knife and fork. I am left-handed, so this works out to my advantage. If you are not left-handed, you might have to switch the fork and the knife to the opposite hands. You're going to put your fork down into the food and use the knife to cut off a piece of whatever it is you're eating. I'm imagining that I am having some salmon for dinner. And pick it up to your mouth. Make noise so I know whether or not you like your food. Oh, Jasmine, this is good. This does not need any salt. Okay, now I'm going to spoon some mashed potatoes onto my plate. And I'm going to eat some more mashed potatoes. Uh-oh, got some on the table, so I'm going to pick up my napkin, wipe up that table mess, wipe up my lips, keep on eating. Good stuff. All right, now that I am done with my food, I finished my drink. I can put my bowl with my soup on top of my plate as well. Put my napkin on top of that. Everything is nice and neat. And now I'm ready to take my dishes into the kitchen to help make sure that everything gets put away so that it's easier the next time I want to get food because the plate and my silverware will already have been cleaned. But before I can do anything, I must turn, look at my knight, my lady, my queen, my king, my prince, my princess who I've invited to this meal and say, and how did you enjoy supper? In your most important, high, and honored voice that you can imagine. You will say, and how did you enjoy your dinner? And once they have answered, you can say, I'm so glad to hear it. May I please clear your plate for you? And if they say yes, you can take their plate along with yours into the kitchen. And that is how we have a make-believe, incredible, fantastic feast with the prince and princess. I hope you learned some table manners. I hope you had a wonderful meal with your prince, princess, knight, lady, or whoever it was that you chose to invite. And I want to see a picture of your table settings. So when you finish practicing, I would love for you to take a picture for me and send it to Miss Fox. All right, thank you all so much, and I hope to see you again soon.